campaign. It's been a brilliant show. They've had 3 races at Rotorua at round number 2. They had 3 races here yesterday at round number 3 and 2 races today, an 8-race series. And it's coming down to the crunch. We've got electric points battles on our hands. The leader, Prix de Boone, buried in the pack with a bit of work to do. Thomas Robinson, your one in second place, giving chase, and DC Darren Capel, all within a handful of points of each other. So this is going to be electric. The MX3 Championship overall is on a knife edge, as we've got this final remaining 12-minute moto to decide our overall glory. And Prix de Boone, with the race lead in race number 1, he had the crash in race in the corner number 1 and had to charge through the pack to come home in 3rd place. This time he's done it all the hard way again in 12th place there. So Prix de Boone doesn't just want to win MX3, he wants to try and do it the hard way, and this is going to be a real challenge for him at the moment. So MX3 has been a fabulous series, and they've got 8 minutes left to decide who's going to be the overall glory MX3 champion.
Well, last year an incredible year for the Taupo Motorcycle Club. The winter series is unbelievable. Over 450 riders at one of their round. Man, oh man, the sport was on an explosion. Be interested to know where that momentum continues this year, but we wish them all the very best. Great series coming up last weekend in April, last in May, last in June. Matariki weekend in July, the middle of the month, and the reason for that is we can choose the Friday as a public holiday to travel, because on the Saturday is the Battle of the Clubs and on the Sunday is the Taupo Club Round, so a double header. That's the next time we'll be back here at Taupo. We always look forward to that event. Then we go to the end of August and the end of September for the remaining 2 rounds, and of course Labour weekend again for the Hooker Honda MX Fest, rocking back here into Digger McEwen. So that is a magnificent 7 event program between now and October. So super busy time for Taupo MCC.co.nz, the Taupo Motorcycle Club, and another incredible winter series coming up. You know the track, you know the conditions, you know what they do, you know the racing that it provides, you know the fun that's here to be had. So well done Taupo, looking forward to it. So great to see Taupo. Again, winners on the track and off the ground. DC Darren Capel, over 50 years of age, 40 years of riding at Digger McEwen. That's the key secret from that man. 40 years of racing right here at Digger McEwen. Unbelievable interest. The man born in Taivi, but brought up here in Taupo. Since then moved away with family and works out of the Eastern Bay of Plenty. But here it is, the man that has done more laps around this circuit than any other rider in Digger McEwen history. Darren Capel still doing it in our MX3 class.
All right, coming up to the halfway age of this MX3 thriller. Capes still in charge. Callum Dudson there, Thomas Robinson, top 3 going at it at the top of the hill. They're at the Rapids Jet S's now at the moment. Prix de Boone's charged up, he's in 5th place already, and he's got the purple lap time, so he is absolutely flying. We've got the update, Brendan McCaskey, some of his best racing there in 4th place. We've got Jack Swift in there as well. Mike Kendall is in 7th, Harrison Chisel 8th place, Cody Shepherd in 9th. And then we look to Bradley Wadsworth all the way from the wide at upper, running at our top 10. So spectacular, some of the talented fields we've had here in MX3, and what a treat. We had the likes of DK Daryl King on a Subway Yamaha at round number 2. That was absolutely spectacular, and what a fabulous race we've had. And this one, Prix de Boone's going to need to do a little bit more work than his top 5 performance at the moment if he wants to carry on his points lead into MX3 overall glory. But plenty of time left in this one, 5.5 minutes. And can we see that Mach 1 Yamaha Prix de Boone reel in that podium fight? He's got himself up into 4th already. And if he can get himself right in that podium hunt, it should be almost enough to lock away that MX3 crown. Thomas Robinson, he is 2nd in the points narrowly. He's stuck in 3rd. Capes is 3rd in the points. He's in 2nd. And it's Callum Dudson who's stealing the show off those 4 at the moment, because he's just done this round here yesterday and the round today. And he is on that THS Moto Whites Power Sports supported Honda machine all the way from Road to Vegas. He'll be loving this at the moment, as he is going to tick off yet another lap. We're over halfway through it now, 4.5 minutes remaining, and things are going to start heating up at the front of this one here, because Callum Dudson now leads ahead of Capes in 2nd place, Thomas Robinson there in 3rd, and then Prix de Boone, who's now only 5.6 seconds off the race lead, and he was 4 seconds quicker on that lap around than our race leader. So Prix de Boone's coming, he knows how important this MX3 championship is, and we'll see in a few laps time whether he can prevail. Brendan McCaskey now in 5th place, Jack Swift. Mike Kendall is in 7th with Harrison Chisel there in 8th place. Bradley Wadsworth up into 9th at the expense of Cody Shepherd, who's gone down to 10th place. And we look out for all our other updates there. been pretty good, like Braden Brightwell there in 16th, Harrison Reichenbach at 17th. We've got the update outside the top 10, 11th for Connor Wolford there. That's pretty good on the Terravac supported machine. Blake Chisel is in 12th. We've got Zach Nolan in 13th, Todd Ford and Jesse Shaw rounding out all the way to 15th place. Then we've got, we'll talk about Harrison Reichenbach, Ryan Braylock. They're jostling for position. Sean Drysdale is in 19th place. Go Sean on the Bissett Honda supported race team. He's there on the 992 and one of the select few riders that have actually done all 4 rounds of MX3. The likes of Harrison Chisel and Cody Shebbets, just some of those guys that made the trip down to Balclutha and had enjoyed some fabulous racing. And MX3, it started with an absolute bang. A legend of New Zealand motocross, Brad Thomas, ended up winning that one there. And then we come to the North Island, and it's just been spectacular, going from strength to strength as you have a look at this battle for the podium. Now, Callum Dudson, he's saved his best till last. He's got a cross-country background, so this rough and rugged Digger McEwen will suit him immensely. A very talented man on a motorcycle. And then go back to Capes, and Thomas Robinson with Pretaboon now in that podium fight. He's right there and launches himself into 3rd place at the hands of Thomas Robinson. So that will be a pivotal move as far as this championship's concerned, because that is 1 and 2 in the series. And Pretaboon, a former New Zealand junior motocross champion, now showing his wares in senior racing. And online here, you'd have to think with a couple of minutes to go, in line to be the MX3 champion for 2023.
All right, never say never with our MX3 class. Great to see people like Carlos Borra and Liam Golding and Eddie Poswillow, Braden Brightwell, Sean Drysdale, of course. Shout out for Sean as well. Great to see him make an effort here for MX3. He's riding his 2016 model anniversary Yamaha. You see it out there in the yellow and black, the only one of the Yamahas like it. It's just a pure example of great guys that aren't out to be number 1 in New Zealand motocross, but when there's a quality ride and a great event to be had with our MX3 class, they're here, they're on board, they're focused, and they're racing and putting their all out there as well. So well done. Of course, cousin to Toby Winarda, as we've seen doing a top 10 in our MX1 class. So great to see the families can come together for the good of the kids and the best part of our sport as well. Shout out there to those 2 families. Awesome to see. But hey, it's all happening here with our MX3 in race number 2. So Callum Dudson, the man who's been pretty hot in form in the cross-country series through the last couple of years. Pretaboon along with Darren Capel. Thomas Robinson won the earlier race today. Brendan McCaskey out there as well. So these guys all laying it on. Pity we didn't have our man Merriman as well, because he was in great form at round number 1. Said that he may not be able to make it here today, and he is not, so he's only done the 1 round. But I'll tell you what, very confident rider in our MX3 lineup as well. So we've shared it all around for a good MX3 class today. Well done.
He also shout out to Jamie Bennett, who was on the podium here yesterday as well, another young man who did some wonderful stuff as far as MX3 racing is concerned, and just some great family racing. They're going to support Youngabro today. So that's just some spectacular stuff from Team Bennett Racing. It was good to have them here yesterday, and good to have Jamie on the podium. So we've had, as far as people represented at the top end of MX3, it's been a vast range of different ages and abilities, and fabulous to have MX3 as part of our campaign. And we're excited about Callum Dudson. He's not far away here, with Pretaboon giving chase in 2nd place. So that's 1 and 2. If Preta can hang on to that one there, that will be enough to lock away MX3 glory for 2023. We've got that fight for the podium red hot. Thomas Robinson's now just past DC, so Capes has got a bit of soul searching to do if he wants to get on that podium. The godfather of Digger McEwen has got to dig deep with the remaining 1 more lap when the white flag comes out. The time is set to expire, and our race leader's only a few corners away. So we're really down to the business end of not only this MX3 but the whole day. We've only got 1 more race to go. The MX1 feature final is on the line. And here we go with this one here. So white flag time for our MX3 race leader, Callum Dudson. He's got that little buffer over Pretaboon. It's now only 2.1 seconds, so Preta was a 1.5 seconds quicker on that lap around. This is going to be a grandstand finish at Pretaboon. Showing us his skills here. There is 3rd place for Thomas Robinson. Capes is now in 3rd on the Promoto Blue Crew Yamaha. And then look out Brendan McCaskey, who certainly saved his best till this final race. He is there in 5th place, with Jack Swift rounding out our top 6 as it all unfolds nicely here. 1 lap to go at MX3, and what a fabulous show it's been, MX3 Championship. Great to have them recognised as an entire series, and they've just been absolutely scintillating some of the racing, and take nothing away from the man who is in line to win his title. He's done it all the hard way. He had a couple of crashes here already this weekend. But just showing us how good he is. One of the very few events I can recall where someone's won a championship on two completely different manufacturers' bikes as well. Started the series on one bike, now he's on his all-new Mach 1 Yamaha. So pretty special times here as they're half a lap away from MX3 glory.
Want to do a shout out for MX3 riders from the mainland as well, and people like Brad Thomas, former New Zealand 125 champion, making a bit of a comeback at the moment. Also the likes of Aaron Fitzgerald, also out of Tasman Nelson region. So there's a couple of names to think of. Hey, Johnny Parika, he wanted to make sure the event got supported, so he went all the way from Christchurch. Just, you know, 3 riders, the difference perspective in our sport. So thank you to the MX3 riders from the mainland who did that round as well, because finally it's been recognised that we can have our championship classes, but we need the support with our likes of MX3 and in this case YZ65 Cup as well, to add to the limelight, to add to the drama, to add to the glory, to add to the highs and lows of our sport. And for these guys to get some recognition and see where they feel, you know, are they feeling like they want to get up to race an MX1 or MX2? And the likes of Darren Cable thinking, well, I just got to keep in training because he'll be doing club rounds, he'll be doing New Zealand vets this year. And a shout out to Central Hawke's Bay for that event coming up October 14-15 to the CHB Central Hawke's Bay Club. And Brad changes, I think, here we go.
Yeah, I think he's got it done. So Prita Boone, he's got the job done with a half a lap to go, and this is going to feel pretty sweet. The checkered flag will wave, and what a move, and what a performance. Prita Boone's going to win that race and be your MX3 champion for 2023. Callum Dudson there. And interesting to see Callum. He has only done these final 2 rounds, but he'll be climbing the leaderboard rapidly. As we've got Thomas Robinson, another good showing there. I believe that will be good enough for him to be second overall in this championship. There is Darren Capel, the legend. He's going to come home in 4th place in this race, and that should be, I believe, enough for 3 overall in MX3 racing for this 2023 campaign. Look out for Brendan McCaskey in 5th place. That's his best performance so far this campaign. Jack Swift there in 6th. We've got Mike Kendall in 7th. And then look at Harrison Chisel is going to come home in 8th place ahead of Bradley Wadsworth there and Cody Shepherd rounding out our top 10. That is an MX3 wrap. Their series is now done and dusted. We've got a brand new champion, and we're going to cross down to Neil in a moment's time. And he'll have all the trials and tribulations, all the sights and sounds of an MX3 wrap-up. It's a brilliant show with a couple of kids from the Naki and the legend off-road machine from Rotor Vegas. Well done to Callum, who's going to come home in 2nd place there. So look out for it. We're going to cross to Neil, who's going to have our MX3 podium, not only for this race, but for the overall and the day. So let's cross over to Neil.
Yes, indeed, and to our MX3, taking nothing away from them. There's a great example. That race came down to the wire. How good was that? What an awesome moto to have seen. So well done. With a lap to go, you'd thought it was all in his hands, but then, of course, in that last lap, it all changed. So pretty special to see. So here we go. Let's get him up here. 3rd place, Thomas Robinson. Another good one, Thomas. How's it feeling out there?
It's feeling good. Track's rough. It's just heaps of fun.
All right. Hey, that's what you do it for after all. You've been putting a lot of training into this year?
Yeah, I've been really working hard and on and off the track, so it's really rewarding.
Good, mate. Nice answer. Well done. And to our runner-up, Callum Dudson. For Callum, of course, having having the 1st place in the palm of his hand, stolen from him in the last. But hey, that's our sport. If it was easy, we'd all go and play it and do it. But Callum, some fun to be had out there.
Yeah, no, it's all good, eh? Yeah, a bit of fun.
All right, hey, now rating motocross and cross country. Does this sort of even it out for you? You like the 2 of them, or what is your preference still with cross country? How are you feeling?
Probably still a bit of preference with cross country. Yeah, I don't know.
It's good. But mate, do some more motocross. You get better at that as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. So he'll get and our winner today, Prita Boone. Yeah, and the crowd behind him as well. So good to see. First of all, Prita, the Yamaha change. You've been happy with the new bike?
Very happy. Yeah, the suspension done by Kevin. He made it suit me very well. So that's. Yeah, suit the track.
Suit the track indeed. You like Taupo today?
Yeah, very much. It's like kind of like Taranaki a bit.
Taranaki a bit. All right, you got a favourite part out there? Is there something you enjoy more than anything else around the track?
The centre point.
Centre point? You like to be jumping, do you? Hey, well done, mate. You can jump right up there to get number one. That's as big as energy centre point. So there you go. That's our result today. Well done in that final race. And for the overall at the moment, it is Cullum in third place, Thomas in second, and Preda in middle. So 2 change with 3, 3 change with 2, and number 1 can stay where they are. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. We'll call it a rotation. So well, third place for Cullum, second for Thomas, and first place with Preda. There it is, our MX3 for the overall for today. Well done. Only involved with 3 rounds, of course, Rotorua, Taupo and Taupo. So good on you guys. Well done. All right, coming at you, folks. We are down to the wire. Here we are, time at around 3:30 in the afternoon. We've got our last one. It is MX1 coming out for a feature battle, and we'll be super excited to get that one over the line and get a finish. A reminder, of course, prize giving social starting tonight from 6, food served up from 6:30, and then we've got our prize giving itself from 7:30. If you want to just come to prize giving, there is no cost involved, and that would mean coming along at 7:30 for the 7:30 start, just so you don't get charged for the meal prior to that. But you're most welcome to join us. Prize giving at Finn McCall's tonight, in the corner of Tongariro and 2 Wharetoa Street. A shout out to our sponsors, to MNZ. I used to say the word promoters of the sport. It's not, they are not a promoter. What they are doing is working in conjunction with our clubs and our sponsors to make the sport happen. So we thank them immensely for that. To our 4 clubs involved. And I want to say to Hawke's Bay, because they have been part of it, but unfortunately they couldn't bring the event, but they were gracious in handing it over to Taupo to run it on their behalf for yesterday. And of course to South Otago at Balclutha, to Rotorua at Hora Hora, and of course Taupo here today. And along with the Aon Insurance, Pirelli, Power is Nothing Without Control, and of course Fox Racing. We've got a pretty incredible lineup of sponsors. And to Penny Homes for bringing us our Taupo doubleheader this weekend. We salute you. Building homes to be admired, building more franchised homes in Taupo than any other builders in the last 30 years. It is the number one. They've got the real estate, they've got the property, they've got the houses, they've got the design, they've got the architecture, they've got the know-how. They have done it for years, they've got the experience, they've got the knowledge, they've got the capital investment. All you've got to do is come along and say, that's the Penny home that I want, and it's there for you. Check it out, Penny Homes, homes to be admired.